Step by step. My.
Shadowheart walks a little freer of the shadows. She could shave her skull and paint it purple. It would still suit her. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is yours. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? I've passed enough years that counting... Which is to say, yes, I am that old. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I felt the way they think. Saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural... But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a breath, and if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
A little discourse.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemy. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I liked that. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. I respected him, trusted him. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had Zariel laughed. He was right.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin. And by killing him, you set him free. A great deal. Ketheric thought he raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? That's exactly it. And I tell you, lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father, I understand it's... Then... And this is where I still need... Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. I didn't know that then. but I found last light within. By the time Jahira came, I'd pieced together just enough. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And it's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me! Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help. Pray, ask, and I will tell. A century of it by now. I loved her from the moment I beheld her sweet face. Her great, wise eyes. Her father Ketheric never did trust me. He did not fancy an immortal for his daughter's paramour. When she died, curse the day, the hour, he turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell. Claimed they'd found someone. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was but lo, the brute is dead. And do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. And we are no closer to knowing why that bastard is so obsessed with getting me back. I think we should track down my fellow Spawn. I'm not exactly looking forward to a reunion, but perhaps they'll know something. If we can find them, we can force them to tell us what he's been doing since I was gone. And honestly, I imagine they'll be coming for me in the night if I don't. Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town. We should get to them first. Then we can make the...
Hello, sir. That's the spot, sir.
Maybe later.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. That you remain alive is a failure to Mystra. But if you were to lay hands on that crown, might she have reason to forgive you then? Would you even need her forgiveness? And what of the true souls? Will you liberate them from their parasites and religious delusions? Or will you use the power for your own gain? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
We're under attack. Help me.
On the move. Tadpole scum! Attack!
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
On my way. Baldur.
Ready. I'd better take a peek.
Come quickly! I can't do this without you!
Find a route.
I am fury. I am death.
What's the plan? Onward.
May the dice roll in my favor. Rook to queen 6.
Aye, aye.
Swift and lethal. This is your end.
More coming. Hurry! Or we will all become thralls.
Where's our dream guardian?
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
My path be true. Swords meet sorcery.
Got to concentrate.
It's not over. Come to the skull. Hurry! I can't hold them back alone. I need you, now. The skull! Come to the skull! Help me! Please, help me. I can't hold them off much longer. Hurry! I can't hold them back alone. I need you, now. The skull! Come to the skull! Help me! Please, help me.
Elminster's not around, so might as well. On it.
I can't hold them off much longer.
Right away.
Hurry. It's not over. Come to the skull.
Most excellent.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger.
Oh, shit. A mind flayer.
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper, back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Zone from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackith's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the Mind Flayer's awareness is everywhere.
You must be joking. I am telling you my thoughts directly into your head. But if you insist,
Aid an illicit against Githyanki. We cannot. We must not.
your blind loyalty will be your undoing, Mazel. Fight with me for your own survival.
not know failure.
Down the hatch. Covered.
Need to stay focused.
Destroy the Honor Guard.
Fading fast. I need healing.
I will not know failure.
Need to learn the hard way. Jimmy on the go.
protect you.
I'm not going to last much longer.
Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
It's obscene to owe my life to a damned geich. No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. Rather than potential future allies, like you. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the Astral Prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other Chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. followed the feeling inside and found the Githyanki. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue the Githyanki and find allies in the outer world. You. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki.
Orpheus? Impossible. He was slain by Shastil Kithrak himself.
Quite possible, I assure you. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control.
Control him? Skra! You must return him to his people.
That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that, but this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel. But the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. You will be able to do things you never thought would. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only part. And you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Skra! Whatever this gig offers is no gift.
You continue to surprise me. Your mind is truly... Now, hold out your hand. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
The tadpole screams for growth with painful intensity. It has been stuck. If you let it will evolve you, just as the Emperor said.
A tadpole, nurtured by the psionic energy of the astral plane, cocooned here for millennia. It has become extraordinary. What are you?
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens, its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast.
I suppose, if it works. But if you had opened your mind to it, rather than consuming it, your allies could have taken advantage of its power as well.
The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
You are exquisite. But we mustn't lose focus. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city. We must not let them reach it. We must...
A long way to go still.
It's not over. Come to the skull.